So when you have been training this quite a lot and your dog's understanding they love the mat, they can find the mat, they do a default behaviour on the mat, we want to start getting this mat real life ready. We want it to start being somewhere they really want to be, even when things in their environment change. Because that is what is going to cause the mat to be the place to remain on, even when real life things are happening, such as you're cooking something in the kitchen, or you have visitors, or you're out at a cafe and they're relaxing on it. So one thing that I start to do is I start to add some distance between me and my dog with the mat. I'm not going to again use the cue word stay, because I want the mat to be the cue for the behaviour. And for some dogs, they may not know a stay. So I'm going to get the mat out, wait for that default behaviour, reward that default behaviour, and then I'm going to take a small step away from my dog. When I'm at that distance, I'm going to mark with my yes, and I'm going to return back to them and give them that treat between their feet on the mat. I personally love feeding between their feet on the mat because it keeps them more calm, it keeps them more relaxed, and they know where the treat is coming, which means they're less likely to lurch off the mat, and it means they are more likely to remain calm and think that the mat is a great place to be. I'm using a marker when I reach that distance. You may find that your dog gets up when you say that marker, and if that is the case, just go your distance, one step away, return and feed. For some dogs, they just feel like the marker word is the cue to get up and go. And we don't necessarily, well, we don't want that. We don't want them getting up without that okay and that release. So you start with one step, you repeat that. You want to keep repeating it. The worst thing we can do is push too far too soon. If we do one step and they do well, and then we immediately go to 2 steps, it's not a habit that is ingrained in their head enough. So start with one step. Repeat that one step over and over. As they get better, then you go 2 steps. And if you're using your marker, you yes, and then you return to them and you feed. And as they get the hang of that, we can do 3 steps, 4 steps, as many steps as you would like. Initially, you're probably walking backwards. It just makes it a bit clearer to them. And for a lot of dogs, they feel like you turning your back is the cue for them to disengage. So we may need to train for that. So what you may want to do initially is have them on the mat, turn your back, facing away from them. Yes for turning your back and then staying there, and return and feed. You'll notice that when I'm returning and feeding, I'm never reaching my hand out, as reaching my hand out is very likely to cause my dog to pop up. So I'm returning back to them and feeding them, and then I'm turning my back and I'm repeating that, again, repeatedly, to create a habit. When they've got the hang of that, my next step will be that I will turn my back, take a step away, yes, and return and feed. I'm training distance and duration, and they're getting the hang of this at a pace that they can handle. So if they're making a lot of mistakes, it really just means I need to go back a step. But for this step, we're just adding some distance, and we can then add some distance with our back turned, and we're really creating this desire to be on the mat even when exciting things are going on the mat, around the mat, as it were. So you can see in the clip with Arkle, what I'm doing is I'm walking away, taking one step, returning and feeding. He has done this before, so I can quickly progress, and then I progress to show you how to turn your back with it too. If they ever get up, we're not going to shout at them or scold them. We are simply going to get up, return to the mat. If we need to, pick up and put the mat down to reset them, and then try again. But if they're getting it wrong more than they are getting it right, we may just have forged ahead too soon. Yes. 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 Okay.